Arknights Endfield is one of those games I hear about all the time, but I've never seen the trailer, so let's jump into it.
18.5. The
Love this art style.
Temperature of Talos 2.
So up my alley.
A region of uncharted possibilities.
Cat ears is a classic.
Some say it is our
Feels like
creation.
every new game is cat's ears.
Others treat it
All over every
as our
girl.
fated resting place.
Fated resting place. We got some
We
Halo
embarked
ring
on a
action.
campaign of no return. We lost
Okay.
many friends in the journey.
A little
Through
bit
their
of
sacrifices, we prospered.
stone friends that we've lost along the way. Yeah, the one thing that I've heard about this is that factory view.
Create havens in
I actually
hostile
really like that
environments.
idea. Although if this is one of those things where the factory is just something that they toss away, you do it for 2 days and then it's done, it's a lot less interesting to me. And if they make it all about factories, then it's kind of like probably going to lose some interest from other people. So we'll see how they handle it.
And use them to connect people.
I do like the idea of being able to kind of create movement between these different locations, like being able to set up zip lines or something like that. Seems like you might have a motorcycle. Who doesn't love being able to collect mounts?
Amidst the chaos of the frontier.
The characters look cool.
Build.
Alright, so this is our what we're making with the factory. We're saving the children of this universe. Hopefully action combat. We'll have to look into it.
And push forward into the deepest
Wheat
ends of the
fields.
north, where
A
the
classic.
truth will be revealed.
Just a girl in her motorcycle
I believe
on top of a pillar that a motorcycle could never reach above or get onto. Interesting.
stars themselves hold the key for our world.
Okay, I see some swords. I see some magic staffs. So it seems like you've got some variety there. Cool enough. I like this. I like this whole vibe here, and the style overall is screaming right up my alley. I'm a big fan of factories and kind of automation stuff, so I know that that's going to be a part of this. And as long as it's action combat, I'm all in to give it a real solid try. Enfield Industries.
Present and future.
Ugh,
Of
I've always
Talos 2.
always been told you shouldn't pick up feathers. You
Endfield
don't want to get
needs
sick.
you.
Unless that's just something your parents say to keep you from bringing feathers in the house. This is the gameplay demo. We're going to just watch through some of this. It seems like once you're in this central area, you can kind of see the ghosts or your team kind of following you around, and you're just controlling kind of the head honcho or whoever's being kind of controlled by you in actuality at that moment. I do like that because a lot of these games, it's like when you enter a cutscene, the character suddenly changes to one that's applicable to that cutscene. And it does seem like we have buttons that we can hit in action right now, but I'm not sure if these are attacks and heals and stuff, or oh, we got some tails going on, or what. Does look like a lot of the stuff is in a foreign language here, so I can't dive into what all that says. Looks like we have gear, we have weapons, we have some upgrade stuff going on here. UI is fantastic. It doesn't seem overly complicated. You do have a couple of the red dots. I'm not always a huge fan of those red dots being all over the screen all the time. I have yet to see a character who is not in some form furry, so I'm not a huge fan of that. Honestly, this is probably the best I've seen so far because at least it's just a giant panda. Every game seems to have a Po from Kung Fu Panda type character now. She's pretty. We have some sort of dragon vibe going on with these characters, but again, yet to see a character that is not in some form a furry. The UI is clean, very clean. Looks like you have 1 of 4 dupes, maybe. And let's see, when we exit this line, they're kind of, it looks like they're kind of hovering behind you as you go into any point in the world. It's just when you slow down. Oh, I love that. So when you start to attack something, everybody else is auto-attacking as well. You have sort of a elden tree in the background that maybe gives you some sort of target point that you should head towards, potentially. I really like the level over the head, and then you get the health bar once you're in combat. You have all sorts of stuff going on, but these guys are really just standing there in the background. It's a little bit awkward, but I think it's fine. And it's a new take on all this that I haven't seen before. Big fan. So these guys are level 24. Kind of only aggro them once they are really being hit, which is cool. So you can kind of take on a part of the pack first. Looks like there's a little bit of like passive stuff going on in the background, but again, you're still just this main character for the time being, who does seem to be the only one so far without a tail. Okay, here's some zipline stuff. I'd love it if they look behind them. Are the other characters traveling the zipline as well? Here's our factory. We're gonna lower down. Very cool. Ugh. Seems a little bit complex. I'm gonna want an explanation of this for sure. Hopefully the tutorials are solid, because sometimes if things are poorly explained, you'll feel a little bit lost. Let's see. Okay, jump pad. Understandable UI, kind of really spoken, without speaking, show, don't tell sort of situation. You understand what it is just by glimpsing at it. I've never seen this before, and I instantly knew it was a jump pad. I really like that. Okay, some sort of power that's accessible. Maybe you can build within a range of that glowing thing. Okay, I can't read any of this, so I don't know what is being built. We're just throwing all this down. Guess we're gonna suck the power out of this. Some enemies come out. This is a little bit Wuthering Waves vibes. I recently played Wuthering Waves for the first time. Ooh, we've got, it's a turret. We built a turret. Ooh, a zap turret. We have a bullet turret, and I'm guessing like a kind of a power extension from our home base. Maybe we're generating power, and this can kind of Wi-Fi power the stuff that's in this area. And then we got a chest. Let's see what's in the chest. Open that thing up. Okay, we got some stuff. It looks like a little sword drop we got, and maybe some currencies. This is a male character. I usually play as the male. Oh wow, this looks beautiful. Totally unexpected. Now, are you driving this? Doesn't look like you're driving it. Kind of just a moving platform between areas. Very cute, very pretty. A bamboo forest. Little bamboo weeping willow situation here. Very interesting. You have some, I forget what they call these things. They're not swans. They're not cranes. Are they cranes? That might be a crane. Oh, we got a crane person over here. I kind of like that. Again, in the Kung Fu Panda vibes here. I like it, I like it. Looks like we've built here before. Or maybe that's just the style of the area. Although we have these zip lines up top. I wonder if you have to place the zip lines yourself. These red dots or orange dots up top are killing me right now.
我知道这东西珍贵，但又觉得十分玄乎。
Really have to hold myself back from emulating the voice lines here. Just sounds like mumbo jumbo to me because obviously I don't speak the language. Okay, we have some sort of space ladder situation or support wires for something larger. Not sure what these things are. They all seem to be pointing in the same direction. Ooh, it looks like we have a big rift that maybe there's a big chest there that we can fight for. Again, we have some sort of zipline thing. Yep, it's a zipline. Okay, it shows you where the other ziplines are. You could travel between them. This definitely seems human created, like manually made. Because it's not very pretty. Hopefully this is not the placement of stuff that's been built by the game itself. It does mean that we're probably not going to be in an MMO, right? Because you can't have everyone building this sort of stuff all over the place. It's definitely your own world. This is another one of those factory farm areas. It seems like you have a nice little diagram of what you're making or what's being created there, like this stuff here on the side. I like that. You can see that some of these things are inactive, not being used, so show your inefficiency as you go. You have some bars on the bottom that let you decide kind of what you can build. I like it, I like it. This is really the type of stuff that I want to see, right? I want to see what is the vibe here. Okay, there's a little bit of a digging going on. Oh, we're planting. This is a farm. Oh look, our buddies are planting their areas as well. I guess if you have 4 plots, then that's really only 1 plot that you have to micromanage. That's nice. Okay, it seems we've done our duty here. Duty? Okay. And we can see there's power, so we have kind of power being provided, and then these are all connecting to them. So that's definitely what we saw before. And we're going to turn in the direction of the one that we want to go to. Very nice, very nice. Work in progress build, not representative of the final product, of course. Some bunnies with some sort of growth on top of them. Interesting. Okay, we're inside. We have some kind of slate walls. Looking good. This looks like where we're doing our research or something. A big thing that I worry about when I see games like this, I always wonder, are they going to be more focused on just having us do our daily logins, and I'm going to have to travel between 100 of these zip lines and then kind of water some plants and be done for the day? That doesn't sound super fun, but if it's like I can kind of just play and have fun and there's stuff to do, and I don't necessarily have to do the daily login stuff and leave. Some games you very quickly get into just like use your stamina and get out, and I'm not a big fan of that. Hopefully that is not the situation here. Pretty much a no-go for me. Okay, we're gonna drink some coffee with this lady or something, or maybe that's the type of the mood of the conversation that we're gonna have with them. Again, yet to see a character outside of the main character that isn't some form of dragon or cat or something. Okay, it looks like we have some sort of non-dragon cat situation here in this character. Okay, it looks like we've assigned a character to manage this area. Very cool. A little bit of lag here in terms of gameplay and animations, but that's the first area I've seen anything like that. This is cool. Alright, we got some 4s. I don't know what those mean. I guess this is the final delivery. Ooh, okay. We've got a car and a bike here. This might be where you're managing your upgrades for those. Let's see if they interact with this. It almost looks just like a display. Ooh, the vibe is impeccable. Vibe is impeccable. Though the area does feel a little lacking in terms of like the people are just standing there. This is not really an active world. It's just like these might as well be paintings, right? These characters here. Okay, I'm gonna give her a present and increase her mood. 191%. 191% what is what I have to say. You have a good bond with that character, apparently. Skip forward a little bit. Still inside. Looks like we're managing facilities. This might be a map. Yeah, looks like a little map here. Let's see if we can interpret what this is. Maybe these are our two kind of not our farms. This would be our farm, right? And these are our factories where we're connecting these two, and then maybe this goes over here, this goes over here. I have a hard time believing that these lines represent much of anything that we create, so I wonder if these are just naturally the only plots that you get, and this is the home base. I'm assuming this is where we are right now in the video, and these are the areas that we looked at before. Makes a lot of sense to me. So this is kind of the overview of what you've done. Very cool. Are we gonna sit in the chair? Can you sit? No, you don't sit. You use this little tablet. Oh, you sit. We like it when you can sit. Alright, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. We like it. We like it. I'm definitely intrigued. Let's go to the operators and look over some of the characters. A little laggy. That's not my recording. That's the website. I'm not a huge fan of the lag. You gotta kind of get that shit together. Administrator. The lag might be part of the style almost, but I'm not really sure. It doesn't feel like it. It just feels like they jammed too big of a video or animation here. Okay, you got dragon girls, you got butt cheeks, you got bouncing breasticles, Gilberta. Again, the quality is missing some frames, but not an issue, not an issue. The game seemed to run well, so I don't hate it. Gameplay, we saw a lot about that. So about Talos, the great mountain ranges, crisscrossing river system, and rich vegetation cover gave rise to a rather resilient biosphere. Here we have automation. Okay, so this is probably that farmland. This is automated production lines. This is your blight, so that's kind of where you're doing your battle. And anchors. Let's see. Anchors spawn inorganic yet animated constructs known as Agelian, one of the major threats faced by the people living in Talos 2. Destroying the core of an anchor is the most effective method for eliminating an anchor and end the threat it poses. Then we have some news. The beta test 225. So we missed this beta test notice. Let's see what this says. DevCom, this is Arknights Endfield. The beta test officially ended February 17th. Okay, improving combat experience. Okay, let's see what the notes were, because this is often kind of a hint at what the issues were and what they experienced. So, refining the factory gameplay, guides and tutorials for the AIC factory will be optimized. This was my major note, right? You need to be able to quickly understand how to do this. You don't want to have a bunch of situations where you kind of are stuck without understanding it. Improving combat experience. We also received a lot of valuable feedback Okay, so this means that it's bad. It needs to be better. Camera was bad. The dodge sucked. Visual effects and moveset of the characters and enemies are already in the works. So this is to be expected. If this was an early test and they're admitting that, hey, it needs improvement, that's the type of stuff we want to see, right? Artistic presentation, be a key focus of polishing the game. Enhance such aspects as environmental and character. Okay, that's fine. Refining the story and performances. Anybody who knows me knows that I don't care about the story, so who cares? But let's see, voiceover for each language. Okay, it needs to be in English if they want me to play, and I'm sure a lot of other people similar to me. New regions and stage gameplay, optimizing game performance, so including mobile. Okay, so this is good. I'm glad that it's just a portion of it and not the whole thing. I want to see a game that is playable on PC again, or I'm probably not very interested. And then enhancing localization. I hope that this does not include one of those stupid, like, editor type localization things where it's like they don't want their girls to be pretty. Arknights Endfield really seems like it could be up my alley. I like the fact that it's action combat. I like the fact that the rest of your team is there and kind of doing things with you as you're playing. They're not just kind of there when you switch to them, or they're supposed to be there but they're not really there. It does feel a little bit strange that they would be there but not attacking all the time. So when you have one character that you're controlling attacking and the rest of them are just kind of hanging out in the background, it feels a little bit awkward. But as long as they pull it off in the way that they imagine, then I'll give it a try and we'll see if it's an improvement on what we've all become accustomed to. If anybody's interested in staying up to date on news for this game, just go ahead and hit like, follow, subscribe, whatever you do on here. And yeah, we'll continue to look at it as things progress. So thanks for checking out the video. Peace.